Okay, here we go. Timelines and deadlines in government contracting. So I shared with you a couple of different solicitations. We got the solicitation release date. So the solicitation will get released, let's say today. Then you'll have the proposal submission. So this is the date that it gets released. This is the date that it is due. You got to have your response and what you're going to say to them, how you're going to do it, all of that value that you're going to deliver by that proposal due date, which also can be the opening date. I know that's confusing, but they call it the opening date because that's when they open the solicitation. I just want to clear that up for those who are going to pursue this and just kind of give you a little bit of clarity before you get there. And then, so there's the post submission. They got to go, they got to figure out who they like. They're going to shortlist people. So usually they'll call you in for interviews. You get the contracting right. And then you got the contract award, which is the final stage. This is when you actually have the contract. You sign your name on the dotted line, and then you can start delivering your service delivery and meeting your project milestones. So this is very, very simple and concise, but this is kind of how that contracting goes in a simple 4 steps. We got the solicitation release date, the proposal submission date, when the contract is awarded, and when we actually begin service delivery. Questions? All right, Randolph, how long do I have? Mr. Love, how long do I have? I want to make sure, as long as, okay, don't tell me. I'm like a Southern Baptist preacher up here. Yes, sir.
I want to know, maybe off the record, but that proposal submission, tell me what that means again.
So proposal submission, so let's go back to the painting, right? So I need this wall painted, right? I can't just go to Sherwin-Williams. We've got to do what we do to get the solicitation ready. That's a whole thing. I could do a whole course on that. But we get the solicitation ready. The solicitation now comes out to the open market, right? That's the solicitation release date. Now, between, let's say it's open for a month, so it's due, I release it today, it's due next month on the same day. What's today, the 23rd? 24th. It's due November 24th, a month from now. And in that month, I've got to get my submission ready. Now, a lot of things happen in that month. There's pre-bid meetings that are mandatory and non-mandatory. There's question and answer periods, so on and so forth. Like I said, I got a whole course on this. But in that, just to keep it simple, in that month, we've got to get our proposal submission ready by the due date. Okay, so how do we plan and how do we prepare for government contracts for those who are interested? Well, it's always important to know where you're going with a plan and having some goals. So we want to ensure that you all have the capacity and resources that align with the requirements of the contracts that you all are pursuing. Make sure that you do your market research. And I know that that's a word that you probably have heard before, and you're going to hear again in the government contracting space. But really, this is for you to do some market research so that you can target who you're going to serve, who you're going to sell to, and what you're going to sell to them. Because you may need some additional things to prepare you for that. For example, he's talking about, I know Thrive has been mentioned here. So there's a person in our class that does, what does Justin do? He does aerotech.
Yeah, he does.
He works in space. He works in space, seriously. So if you want to work in space, do you think that you would need to do something to prepare to work in space? That's what I'm saying. So make sure that wherever you're going, that you've done the research to know what you need to be prepared when you get there. Does that make sense?